Welcome to Perspectives, where we dive into technology, trends, and transformation shaping global connectivity. I'm Riccardo Amati, and today we are thrilled to sit down with one of the leaders at the forefront of mobility innovation. TOMIA, known for powering the critical backbone of global interconnect and roaming services, just took home a major industry accolade, the MEFFY Award in the Connectivity Wholesale category. For those who are familiar, the MEFFYs are often called the Oscars of the mobile world. And the win comes as the Mobile Ecosystem Forum celebrates the 20th anniversary of its MEFFYs. Joining us today is Caetano Pessoa, Product Marketing at TOMIA. Thank you for joining, Caetano.
Thank you, Ricardo. It's a pleasure to be here talking to you and being part of this initiative.
Caetano will give us insights on the award-winning innovation behind their win. What's changing in the roaming landscape and how TOMIA is helping operators turn mobility into a new source of enterprise value. First question, Caetano. Okay, you just took home a MEFFY Award. Congratulations. What does this recognition mean to you? I mean, to TOMIA, but even to you as a part of the company.
Yeah, first of all, I like the way you said it's the Oscar of mobile ecosystem. We are extremely proud of this award. It represents a significant achievement to everyone who have worked in this product, to our teams, to our peers, to our customers. And it also reinforces TOMIA's leadership in innovation. MEFFYs is especially meaningful for us because it's the winners. They are chosen by voting from the industry, from our business partners, from our customers. So it's a confirmation that everything that we have been doing as a product roadmap resonates with our customers, with what they need and what they are expecting for the future. So we are very happy with that.
Can you tell us, Caetano, can you tell us more about the solution or achievement that helped TOMIA stand out last year? Because the MEFFYs are for 2024, of course. They have been assigned in March for the year before. So in 2024, what made it the company award-winning in a very competitive field?
Yes, exactly. So we won in the connectivity and wholesale, as you mentioned, for our steering of roaming. It is called Intelligent Preferred Networks, in short, IPN. It's a feature that we are calling adaptive steering. Essentially, the adaptive steering provides a quality of service logic and outlook in the roaming perspective, which is something which is innovative in the field. It mainly gives subscribers or consumers like us a home-like experience, as well as IoT devices, the right connectivity when they are roaming abroad. Because essentially, IoT roam is also very important and very meaningful. One example can be, for example, if we are detecting high user subscribers, we are trying to steer them to better networks that perform better in terms of quality of service. Silent roamers could go, for example, to cheap networks. So it is an automation in terms of decision around quality of service. It's interesting to think about quality of service in roaming, because in the past, quality of service was mainly coverage, whether there was coverage or not. Of course, the steering decisions are many other factors, but when it looks to the network interfaces, it's mainly around whether there is connectivity or not. Then we had VoLTE, and then we start looking to device capabilities, whether those devices, they were VoLTE enabled or not. But now with 5G, especially 5G standalone coming to fruition, quality of service, it's becoming very important. And it's a way for operators to differentiate and to provide personalized experience. So that is why the adaptive steering is very relevant for the industry, and we are very proud of this award and for this achievement.
You really touched main topics about the company, but if you had to describe it in a line or two to orient our listeners, what's TOMIA?
TOMIA has been around for more than 25 years, providing roaming value-added service solutions to mobile operators. It's mainly solving every challenge that we see with the adoption of new technologies, as well as handling all the network interoperability in a very seamless way. Our target is mainly to provide more automation, simplify operations and business complexities, as well as enable new technologies. So that is all about what TOMIA is currently doing.
Last year, TOMIA rebranded its business units. Telerex now handles voice and messaging interconnect, and Mac has returned as the brand for your clearing services. What was the thinking behind this rebrand? How has it clarified your positioning in the market? Why was it necessary?
Yeah, indeed, we rebranded last year. It was a very interesting project. From a marketing perspective, I was very proud to be there and be part of those decisions. It's mainly what we wanted to do is we wanted to leverage the widespread familiarity of those brands. Mark, if I'm not mistaken, started in 1989, pioneering roaming. Telarix is around for more than 30 years, delivering wholesale interconnect services. And what we wanted to do is mainly to give those business units autonomy to define their own specific corporate strategies in its own market, as well as to their own customers. So now with dedicated teams, we have a better support. We deliver more effective support, as well as we can address challenges and requests in a more effective way. We can also innovate much faster and much better with dedicated R&D teams, and each business unit has their own R&D teams. All of the decision is driven by people who are very knowledgeable about their own domains. So that helped us to be much more effective the way we innovate, as well as we handle our issues and solve our problems, as well as answer our customers' requests. So it's something that worked really well. It was a great feedback from everyone, especially from people who knew those brands, and many people who have worked also for those brands. So it's very interesting to have here to participate in this.
Your win at the MEFFYs aligns well with one of the big conversations of this year, roaming reinvented. What's driving the need to rethink roaming right now? Why now?
Yeah, if I can summarize, I would say that there are main two reasons why operators should rethink roaming. First one is pressure on margins, and I think that is an old discussion, as well as there are many alternative communication options popping up in the current digital world. When we look to margins, we have to acknowledge that roaming is much more accessible now. And that's mainly thanks to roaming like at home policies, travel bundles like daily passes, weekly passes, and all that have reduced the revenue coming from retail. I also was looking to a recent research from Kaleido Intelligence that they say that the average global retail roaming revenue per roamer is going to decrease by 10% by 2028. So there is a lot of pressure. Of course, this is offset by increase of usage, especially with VoLTE 5G roaming. But there is an acknowledgement that the retail's revenues, they are shrinking. Also, there is a change in consumption behavior. For example, now we have travel eSIMs, which are becoming very popular, and this is disrupting the market. We still have many OTTs. So operators, they should understand where and how they want to be positioning in this changing environment. And that is why they should rethink about roaming and what they want from roaming going forward.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we are talking about pricing here, about margins. That's the main issue probably. But there is also innovation. And as more than an issue, I would say, as a challenge, as a promise for the future. And I'm thinking about 5G, VoLTE, IoT roaming. What innovation are coming next in these areas?
I think definitely is travel is seen. Travel is seen. There is it's a growing potential. It's really disrupting the market. It's disrupting the way we interact with brands, the way mobile operators interact with their partners, with their subscribers from a commercial perspective as well. I think this is changing a lot the landscape. Of course, this will drive new commercial modules and business strategies from the mobile operator side, which is very interesting. It's always great to discuss those new things and also to provide solutions to make those new commercial models into fruition. So it is. I believe that travel is seen is going to change a lot, and it's a bit like how the IoT roaming was some years ago. Right now, operators they are still trying to understand the travel is in traffic. There is also discussions whether to block or to monetize it. We are always in favor of going to a commercial negotiation and monetize it, but it do has the potential to change the landscape, and I believe also for mobile operators for the good.
Back to profitability. Just give operators an advice. Okay, what do they face? What they should do to maintain profitability?
Yeah, well, it's very interesting because whenever we are talking to operators, I think the common topic across the board, it's often how to simplify business operations. And I think as an industry, and by that I mean mobile operators, vendors, carriers, all of us, we had made a lot of progress from moving from offline and Excel-driven systems to more automated and more efficient process. I have an interesting example from Chuck Parrish, who is Telaric's Senior Vice President and General Manager. And he joined one panel from MEFF and was moderated by Isabel Paradis.
Yeah.
About the evolution of voice service. There is always the discussion whether voice is dying or not. And he said something like, voice is a resilient channel that keeps finding ways to innovate. And the innovation comes both from the ability to have more automations and more efficiency, to have a better sustainability of their business, but as well as the search and the focus on the enterprise markets. I think that is where, answering the question, I think that is where operators are looking at the moment. How they can drive and create additional revenues coming from the enterprise markets, from their partner relationships.
How is it changing the way operators think about the business models and their role in the global connectivity ecosystem?
Yeah, I actually love this discussion. It's a very, very interesting discussion on how operators were in the past and what they become and what they will do in the future. So if you think...
They should, at least.
Yes, exactly. So if you think about in the past, mobile operators, they were delivering telecom services, voice, SMS, and data. And they did a great job. They were also profiting a lot from those services. But if they would follow this strategy, that would only diminish their value. The risk would be that they would just becoming a delivery channel, and in a more clear words would be a connectivity pipe. And I think right now they have, or actually for some years now, they have realized that they need to become digital enablers.
Right.
To consumers, to enterprises, consumers, they are now 100% digital. They want personalized experience. Enterprise, or let's call it brands, they want to foster relationships. They want to be on the top of their minds of their users.
In this sense, digital enablers. They need to give the public what now the public needs, which is high technology, digitalization of everything.
Exactly. And I was reading actually, a LinkedIn post, and I don't remember the name of the person, otherwise I would quote the person, but the person said something like, there are still operators, they are offering like their mega ultra super tariff plans, while Spotify knows your mood. And this is really powerful. This is a game changer. And I think once operators, they understand that it's not just about their offerings, but also understanding behaviors and understanding how to address those different type of behaviors and those different, in terms of personalization, I think that is how they're striving, and that is how they're going to position themselves to be successful in the future.
I imagine that AI plays a big role in that
It, it, it,
scenario.
it does plays a big role. AI, it's an incredible, powerful tool, and I think if we even look into ourselves, how much AI has enabled us to be more effective, how enable us to find information more easily, how enable us to communicate with each other. So I think AI is playing a vital role. And if you look to the purpose of main operators, it's all about creating those experiences, and AI is everywhere.
How can operators leverage enterprise partnerships to create new value beyond the traditional roaming models we were talking about?
Yeah, I think as digital enablers, and I think that they can offer many more service besides traditional roaming. For example, cloud offerings, that includes cloud services, virtual private networks. And if you think about virtual private networks, actually, this is kind of a roaming scenario where the device can roam in and out from public to non-public networks. And the operators, they can do that seamlessly without user interaction or dependency on SIM applets or these kind of things. It also includes edge computing. We will have 5G network slicing to offer ultra reliable connectivity, and that is mainly for the enterprise or a specific industry, automotive, industrial industries. There are mobile application enablement. So, for example, it's the ability to connect mobile applications with telecom services. We have an example, the classic example is Uber, where the driver calls users without knowing their mobile phones. And of course, as you mentioned, AI, data analytics, predictive analytics. And in this context of digital enablers, um, and especially where TOMIA operates in, we have a solution which is called Travel Revenue Accelerator, which is
What
mainly
is
which is mainly looking at travel mobility events and transforming those events in high value promotions or campaigns for the enterprise markets. For example, insurance companies, travel agencies, hotel and accommodations, credit card issuers. So I think that is the shift that operators had done, and they are going to this direction, which is to enable the enterprises to have partnerships instead of just being a delivery channel.
among strategies, micro segmentation is paramount, it's becoming paramount. How does Tomia help operators on that?
Yeah, it's very funny because sometimes I discuss about segmentation with some colleagues, and often they say it's not anymore segmentation, now it's personalization.
Mm.
So let's take the word personalization, which goes, let's say the concept goes beyond microsegmentation. And I think this is very special for brands where differentiators matters. For example, if we look into a campaign for insurance, travel insurance, it's different if you are doing a campaign for a solo traveler or for a family vacation. And we do have a long track record in network integrations, meaning we can get that information from network and we can prepare that information and customize this information to ensure that the right campaign will be sent in the right moments with context. And it's all about the context.
Alternative communication tools and platforms, are they full of operators? How can they reposition themselves as a preferred channel for enterprise services?
Yeah, I actually think that operators, they are in a very privileged position to become the go-to channel to enterprise. They can leverage two main things. First of all, it's the direct relationships with the subscribers. After all, the subscribers are from the mobile operators and they have an incredible customer base. And second is deep control of their networks and having the right insights about user behavior, network performance. And I think operators, they can deliver far more value to brands by extending those offerings beyond just being the connectivity as we have been discussing. For example, having these real-time travel-related campaigns, for example, which can drive a lot of new revenues from both sides, mobile operators and the enterprises. And I think the success depends on the willingness from the operators to have new commercial modules and be able to adapt to the specific needs of those enterprise players, because it's a different type of discussion. And in the end, I think it's also about creating the relationship, nurturing those relationships, becoming a trusted partner so they can execute those solutions at scale.
What do you expect in the next 12 months for the company? Of course, I don't want you to start an hour. we are wrapping up. But, just in a few lines.
Of course. So 5G standalone, it's already available in our products. But during this year or in the coming months, we will see that coming to live, to operation, to a rollout with live traffic.
Be live, yeah.
Yes. So that is a major milestone and a remarkable achievement for us. And we're continually working on real-time business intelligence to drive those decisions, such as the quality of service, adaptive steering from the MEFFYs, as well as this Travel Revenue Accelerator, which is the ability to have new campaigns for the enterprise markets. We have incorporated AI into it, as we have been discussing, not just as a personal assistant for reporting purpose, but also to provide recommendations on how to steer better based on alerts or incidents. And that is really powerful.
If you could leave operators with one key message, just one, about turning travel mobility into profit, what would it be?
I'd say stop thinking of roaming as just connectivity. Travel mobility can power high valuable enterprise services such as travel insurance, security, marketing, financial services. Operators, they are in a very privileged position, as I mentioned, to become partners in this ecosystem, not just the delivery of those campaigns. And I think they can strengthen their relationships to become those digital enablers that we have been discussing.
Caetano Pessoa, product marketing at TOMIA. TOMIA has just won the MEFFY Award in the Connectivity Wholesale category for 2025. Thank you, Caetano, for your insights. And that's it for this podcast Perspectives. where we dive into the technology trends and transformations shaping global connectivity. From Riccardo Amati, goodbye. Thank you for having listened, and good luck with your work.
Thank you so much, Ricardo. Thank you, MEFFY, as well, for the opportunity, and we stay in touch.